Well, hello. My name is Dave, and today I wanted to talk to you about troubleshooting. I had an event here a few weeks ago and put me in a panic mode. I thought I was losing my bearings or something like that, and it turned out to be something very, very simple. I was very grateful to Greg Jensen for pointing me in the right direction so that I could solve it, and I decided it would be a good idea to share it with you guys. So I was turning a very small piece. I'm talking about a lid to a small box, about that big. And all of a sudden I started getting this tick, 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 tick noise. And I'll play that for you in just a couple minutes. I did make a video of it. And a very unusual sound. So I started doing some troubleshooting. I took the turning off the chuck, made the same sound. Took the chuck off the nose, lathe made the same sound. And it all sounded like it was coming from right here, just tick, 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 tick. And as I increased the speed, of course, the ticking increased to a louder frequency. So I'm worried. So I called Greg, sent him a quick video, and he said, Dave, check your set screws. So what he was talking about, you have the upper pulley and then you have the drive pulley. There are two set screws that hold this one in place, and there's only one set screw that holds this one in place. And lo and behold, in a matter of moments, I checked them, and on the upper pulley, it was loose. So I also checked to see that the two pulleys are in plane, just like you would on your bandsaw. And I just put a ruler between the two, and sure enough, this upper pulley had slid back a short distance, maybe a 30-second, but it was enough to cause the problem. So I moved the upper pulley. Greg told me don't move the lower pulley. So I did slide the upper pulley, put them in plane, tightened everything up real well, turned the lathe on, and as smooth as could be, just the way you want it. So I'm going to take a moment to show you the different steps and what to do, and I hope you don't have to endure that oh my gosh problem, all right? So let's get to it. Thank you. Hey, before we get to it, let's take a minute and watch a couple of video clips of the actual problem so that you can hear it and experience it for yourselves. Now, I was in pretty much panic mode, so I videotaped the thing and I put it out on Facebook and asked the question. And all in all, this was a couple years ago at this point. I'm just now getting around to making this video for you. But let's watch those clips and get a feel for what was really going on, and then we'll address how to take care of the problem, okay? All right, take a look at these. Thanks. Okay, I was hoping everybody could help me out here. Today I was turning this humongous piece, and all of a sudden I started getting a sound on the lathe, a tick, 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 tick. So let me fire it up and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, at first I thought it was maybe the chuck coming loose or something, but it wasn't. I've narrowed it all down. It's coming from right in here. All right, if we look inside the cabinet, we'll see that everything's clean. I've already checked all the belts. There's no frayed belts. I can't find anything at all. And the only thing in the cabinet is plain old air. So I'm beginning to think it might be bearings. If anybody has any other ideas, I would sure appreciate the help. Well, that was pretty amazing, right? It was a sound that put panic in me. I was really worried about it. But now we have a solution, and I'm going to take the time to take you through the simple steps of solving the problem and not having to live the panic of, oh my gosh, it's a bad bearing. So take a look at the next steps, and we'll get her done in a matter of minutes, okay? Thanks. So let's get to work and get this solved, all right? So the first thing we're going to do, get the belt out of the way. No problem. Now what we're looking for are the 3 grub screws. So there's one here, there's one on the opposite side of the big pulley, and it will be lined up the same as this one is. So that grub screw right now is right over here in the same plane. The bottom one, just rotate the lower pulley. Now you're going to use a 4mm hex wrench to get to it. Just go ahead and tighten it. Basically it's rarely loose, but it could be your culprit. So, and then you're going to check your upper one here and then this one. Now getting to this one is a royal pain, but I wanted to let you know that it's not sticking straight out like this one. You're not trying to get here. It's actually up in here on the hub, and it is set at an angle about like that. So knowing that this right now is basically sitting at 3 o'clock, if you rotate this down to about 4 o'clock and lower this wheel a little bit further, give yourself a little more room with your hand. So now you've got more room to be in here. Now for me right now, this is, I'll be blocking the camera totally to put that up in here, but it's pretty darn doable. The only difference is you're going to insert your left hand from this side, and you're going to end up holding this Allen wrench and then tightening with the 2 hands. Now if you have a ratchet with a 4mm hex on it, well, good for you. I don't have that. So the other thing to be concerned about is you always want to get a steel ruler and check that you are coplanar between the lower pulley and the upper pulley, and that was what was causing my tick 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 tick. So no bearing problem, it was just that these pulleys were out of coplanar. So all you have to do is hold your steel rule and make sure that the 2 points are flush and there is no gap up here at the top. Now when I checked mine, this upper pulley was this way about anywhere from 32nd to a 16th of an inch, I would say, and all I had to do was loosen up the screw, move the pulley that way just a smidgen, tighten up this one, and I was ready to go. So I tightened this one, then I tightened this one, and everything worked out just fine. So to put it back together, we're gonna put the belt back on. Never seems easy when you're trying to do it on camera. So here's the quickie lesson. So the handle goes slack. Once it does that, now you're at that point where you're going to tension it, and our manual tells us tension it 1/4 to 1/2 turn from here, and that gives us the proper tension. So if you were out of coplanar and maybe over tensioning, they're telling us we will wear out our belts quicker. Now they tell us that in our lifetime we should never have to replace these belts, but if you're over tensioning them, you will wear them out. And the task to get new belts in here means pulling this whole assembly back and putting on the belts over the nose. So we don't want to do that. So let's take a quick look, see how we've done. Nice and smooth. Obviously I've bumped my magnet. There we are. So that's all we have to do. I hope this made it so that you can remove the panic you may have had, and that's why you were seeking out this video, that it might have been your bearings. But they tell me that about 99% of the time it is the simple thing of moving those pulleys back and forth and tightening them back up. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I have one more thing I want to talk to you about. Hang on. Okay, so that was pretty easy, right? Nothing too terrible. Keep your equipment clean, keep it well maintained, shouldn't have any problems. But let's talk about something else. So the pulleys. While I was doing that and realizing that the upper pulley had slid back a little, it made me think about the temperature of the handle. At that point that day, my handle was hot as dickens. Now, you know, in general, with a VB, it is just the nature of the beast that that handle gets hot. It shouldn't get so hot that you cannot touch it. So, now I could be wrong here, but I've made a few deductions along the way. So once I moved that upper pulley back into place, my handle is now running pretty cool in comparison. I mean, it's still a little warm, but not too hot where you can barely want to touch it. So it might be something you just check out. You may not have loose set screws, excuse me, but maybe you're out of plane. So those pulleys or those belts are pulling at an angle and causing a friction. So I'm just suggesting you check that out.